Hi everyone, about 20 minutes or so vinyasa flow, a little bit of everything. This could be great for a midday yoga break. We'll start off standing, placing the feet about pelvis width apart. And we'll start warming up the shoulders. So first, reach the arms on up. And as you exhale, take your hand to your opposite elbow just behind you. Let me fix this right here. And energetically pull your elbows apart. So begin to broaden through the chest. Another 3, 2, and 1. Then reach your arms on up, bend the elbows. And here, energetically pull the elbows apart. Keep pressing down to the feet. Make sure the ribs are softening in for another 3, 2, and 1. Same shape, release the arms. Hold on to opposite elbow with opposite hand behind you. This time, let's add lateral flexion, side bending to one side. Breathing here, another 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back on up and onto the other side. So this standing shoulder work can be a great standalone practice on its own, especially if you are at the desk. This is a great one to do. For a break, come back on up, release the arms. Reach them up again. This time bend the elbows, same like you did before. And side bend. Keep rooting down through the opposite foot in which you are leaning. Another 3, 2, and 1. Press down to come up. And side bend to the other direction. Breathe in here for 3, 2, and 1. Make your way on up. And release your arms behind you. Once again, grabbing onto opposite hand, opposite elbow, or the forearms. This time, let's add in spinal rotation. So pressing down through the feet and rotate the thoracic spine. So you're rotating from the ribs. Try to keep the hips where they are. So only go as far as the hips stay where they are for another 3, 2, and 1. Bring it to center. The other way, this might feel different on this side. 3-dimensional breath, so make sure you're breathing. And let's bring it back on up to center. Release your hands, reach them up, bend the elbows, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Same thing here, twisting to one direction, about 2 to 3 cycles of breath. Finding center. And now on over to the other side. For another 3, 2, and 1. Bring it center, release the arms, interlace the hands behind your back. Okay, now first start off by bending the elbows, press your thumbs into your sacrum. And then from there, lift your armpits, roll the collarbones open, and butterfly wings closer in towards each other. So squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other and the inner elbows closer in towards each other. Now energetically pull your hands apart. Make sure you're not dropping the chin. Keep it parallel side to the throat back. Energetically pull your hands apart and then lift the thumbs away from your sacrum a little. And then keep that openness to the chest. So lower collarbone rolling open to upper collarbone. Squeeze your arms towards straight. Make sure those ribs aren't popping out. For another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Sweep your arms on up and bend the elbows again. This time press down through the feet and you're curling over like a high bar. So the back of the heart is coming forward. The lower back is long, so you're pressing down from your sitting bones to your heels, side to the throat back for another 3, 2, And one, slowly releasing. Let's let that loose, shake it off, bring the feet wide. Swing your arms side to side. Rinse cycle. Let the opposite heel in which you're twisting lift up. Spaghetti-like arms if it's comfortable for you. You can allow your hands to tap your lower back. Alternate the arms swinging higher up and giving yourself a pat on the back for showing up on your mat today. That's often the most challenging part. For another 3, 2, and 1. Settle to center. Top of the mat. Feet about pelvis width apart. Release your arms to the sides. Root down, rise up. Extended mountain pose. As you exhale, hands to your heart, hinging at your hips, and fold forward. Little letting go. Side to side. Notice if this letting go feels familiar to you, or if it's something you need to bring off your mat into your everyday life. Shake the head out, yes and no. Letting go of anything that no longer serves you positively. Bring it to center, coming into a halfway lift, a higher halfway lift than you normally do, which means you're sliding your hands to your upper shins. So we'll be activating more of the back body here. You're pressing the heels down. Even though hamstrings are lengthening, they're still awakened. Shoulders are higher than the hips, back of the skull long for 3, 2, and 1. Hands on the ground and step back into downward facing dog. Now in your downward facing dog, begin to grip the mat with your finger pads. So you're creating suction cup-like action here. You're pulling energy up. I'm pulling energy up from the center of my palms, elbows, center of my shoulders, base of the heart, and from there, press down through the hands. The energy goes up the spine, all the way up pelvic floor to the sky, and then heels heavy towards the ground. Bending your right knee, spin your left heel in as you lengthen the left leg, push the outer left hip up and back. You get more of a side seam of your body here, this area that tends to represent self-value, self-worth. Bring it back to center. Bend the left knee, spin the right heel into midline. Right leg is straight. Pressing the hands down, outer right hip up to the sky. Let the head hang heavy. And let's alternate about 2 to 3 times, side to side. As always, meet yourself where you are. Feel free to make it your own. Let's bring it to center now. Lift your right leg up. Keep the hips square. Forward into plank pose, a high push-up position. Press the ground away. Lift back on up. 3-legged down dog. 3 more times like that. Bring it forward. And lift back on up. 2 more times. Forward. And back on up. 1 more time. Float the shoulders over the wrists. Belly and ribs in. Lift up. Now turn the bottom pelvis, so the left side of your pelvis to the right to help open up the hips. Bend your right knee down. Hug your right heel in towards your right sitting bone. Left heel down towards the ground. And to keep from collapsing into your lower back, tailbone to the front plane of the body and ribs soften in for 3, 2, 1. Step your right foot forward. Crescent lunge. Root down from the pelvis to the feet. Reach your arms up. Inhale. As you exhale, left elbow underneath the right, eagle arms. Lift the elbows up and then lower them down towards your belly. 2 more times like that. Lift up. And lower down. 1 more time, lift up and lower down. Press to the right heel, lift the elbows up, and then press the forearms away, and then squeeze the forearms in towards each other for 3, 2, 1. Slowly releasing the arms, left elbow or towards the left armpit, outside of right thigh for a twisting lunge here. Be mindful that your thumbs aren't hanging out in your armpit. Press down and lift your heart up to your thumbs. Squeeze the legs in towards each other and lift the heart to your thumbs again for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing, hands down to the ground and step it back into downward facing dog. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Lift your left leg up. Keep your left knee and left toes facing down. Float forward into plank, high push-up position. Three-legged down dog. 3 more times. Float it forward and back. 2 more. Forward and back. 1 more time. Floating it forward. Three-legged down dog. Initiate the movement from the right pelvis turning to the left rather than the top pelvis. Bend the left knee, left heel in towards your bottom. And keep from collapsing into your back body. So soften the ribs to the back body. Drop the tailbone to the front body for 3, 2, 1. Stepping your left foot forward. Find your feet, find your power on the path as you rise up into crescent lunge. Make sure you're staying rooted through the feet from the core of the pelvis. This time, right elbow underneath. Eagle arms, lower down towards your belly. Lift the elbows up. 2 more times, lower down and lift back up. 1 more time, lower down, lift up. Press the forearms away from you and hug the forearms in towards each other. So you're hugging in to your midline. Breathe in here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing into the revolving lunge. Right elbow towards right armpit outside of left thigh. Palms could be together and then press down through the elbow to lift your heart up to your thumbs. Hug that back heel into midline and the outer left hip back. Lengthen the right lung forward and breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing, hands down to the ground and step back into downward facing dog. Press the hands down and feet down and lengthen the spine, including the 4 sides of the neck out from your shoulder girdle. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, step, hop, float. Teleport yourself to the front of the mat. Press the feet down. Halfway lift, but a higher halfway lift. So shoulders a little bit higher than your hips. And exhale, forward fold. Root down, rise up, extended. And exhale, arms to your side, hands to your heart. Breath or 2 to notice any shifts or changes. Giving 1 hand to your heart, 1 to your belly. We don't have to power through all the poses all at once. You can find a lot of power in the pause. And it's nice to notice the fruits and effects of all your effort. Taking time to pause and notice that internal movement yoga buzz that you created. And then release your arms at your sides. Let's bend the knees and come into a variation of chair pose. So I'm hinging at my hip creases. Bring the hands to your heart. Shift the weight into your right leg. Draw the left knee in towards your chest. Now cross left ankle over right thigh. All right, so I'm widening the sitting bones back, but pressing through the right heel. Either reach fingertips forward or where the ceiling and the wall meet. Breathe in here for 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands to your heart, left foot down, right into the other side, right ankle over left thigh. Reach your sitting bones back, fingertips forward or to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Reach the sitting bones back. Make sure you're not jumping into the outer left hip. Pull that outer left hip back and breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands to your heart, right foot down, and fold. Halfway lift. Hands to your upper shins, spine long. Exhale, hands on the ground. Step back into plank pose, into a high push-up position. Think up as you lower down with control. Good, forehead down to the ground, tops of the feet to the ground. So lift one leg at a time to make sure the knees are pointing straight down, coming into your cobra. So as you come into the cobra, tigress-like pause, suction cup hands. So you're grabbing the mat a little bit here and energetically pulling the hands back and lengthen the back of the skull. Breathing here for 3, 2, back of the skull nice and long, and 1, slowly releasing. Make your way however is good for you. Downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and on your exhale, step, hop, or float. Top of the mat, halfway lift, and forward fold. Root down, rise up, extended. Exhale, right back and down into forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. As you exhale, step your right foot back, high lunge for about one breath. Inhale and exhale, hands to the ground, step back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, right foot forward. Crescent lunge, root down, rise up. And exhale, step to the front, forward fold. Halfway lift, the high halfway lift. Activate the back body, exhale, forward fold. Root down, rise up, extended. Exhale, right back on down, forward fold. Leading with the other side, halfway lift. And left foot steps back. Crescent lunge, root down, rise up. Exhale, hands downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Left foot forward. Root down, rise up. Crescent. Exhale, hands down, step it forward, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Root down, rise up. Extended. And exhale, hands to the heart. Another opportunity to pause and notice. Release the arms, root down, rise up. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Float it forward into plank, inhale. Exhale with control, lowering down. Locust or cobra or upward facing dog. Lengthening away from the mat. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and step your right foot forward and spin your back foot flat. Warrior two. Make your way on up. Warrior two, bring your hands to your hips. Straighten the right leg. And now we're going to do a little bit of circling with the right knee and the ankle. So as you bend your right knee, you're going to bend it towards your right big toe. And then to the pinky toe. And then straighten your right leg. Two more times, to the big toe, to the pinky toe, and straighten your right leg. One more time, big toe, pinky toe, and straighten. Three times the other way, pinky, big toe, straighten. Again, pinky, big toe, straighten. One more time, pinky, big toe, straighten. Bend that front knee more towards the middle toes, a little bit more towards the pinky toes. Extend the arms out. And now interlace your hands behind your back like we did in the beginning. Bend the elbows, thumbs to your sacrum. Lift the armpits, roll the collarbones open, and energetically pull your hands apart. And then squeeze the arms towards straight for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing into a half bind. So the left hand, either the back of the waistband or the inner right thigh, right forearm down to the ground. Stay here, or right hand down to the ground, or a block. Press the outer edge of the back foot. Spin your ribcage towards the ceiling for 3, 2, 1. Keep this bind or don't. Lengthen the front leg. Slide the right hand back. It's about mid-shin here. Lengthen the bottom side waist and turn your ribs towards the ceiling for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Bend through the front knee. Rise on up into warrior two. We're going to do that again. Taking that bind behind your back, interlace the fingers, lift the collarbones, bend the elbows to start, squeeze arms towards straight. Keep those ribs inside the waist, softening back for 3, 2, 1. Towards a half bind, forearm or hand to the ground, and breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Straighten the front leg, whatever variation of triangle you like, for 3, 2, 1. Bending the front knee, warrior two. One more round, inhale, and exhale, interlace the hands. Open up to the chest, squeeze arms towards straight for 3, 2, 1. Half bind or a full bind, whatever you like here. Middle of right seat down and under. Spin the ribs to the sky for 3, 2, 1. Stay here or lengthen through that front leg with or without any kind of bind for 3, 2, and 1. Bend the front knee. Woo, warrior 2. Hands float down to the ground, step it back. Downward facing dog. I'm gonna turn around so you can see me. Or high to low push-up if you need. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step your left foot forward. Spin the back foot flat. Warrior 2. Hands to your hips. Lengthen the front leg. So the knee does not have to be directly over the ankle. I know that might be news for you. We want to explore our full 3-dimensional movement possibilities. So as you bend the left knee, bend it towards the left toe, pinky toe, straighten out the front leg. 2 more times. Big toe, pinky toe, straighten out the front leg. 1 more time. Big toe, pinky, straighten. Let's reverse that. Pinky, big toe, straighten. Pinky, big toe, straighten. 1 more time. Pinky, big toe, and straighten. Bend that front knee. Extend the arms out. Interlace the hands the super weird way, the awkward way. So it feels like you're holding on to someone else's hand. Just for balance. Bend the elbows, lift the armpits, roll the collarbones open. Energetically pull the hands apart. Lift the thumbs from your back body and then begin to squeeze arms towards straight without the ribs popping out for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing into a half bind. So back of the right hand, back of the waistband, or the inner left thigh. Fingertips could be on the ground. This side is definitely different from me on this side, so honor where you are on this side for 3, 2, 1. Straighten the front leg. You can slide the left hand back, fingertips on shin, block, or ground. Lengthen the bottom sideways for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Warrior 2. We'll do that 2 more times through. Interlace the hands the weird way. Roll the collarbones open, squeeze arms towards straight, lift the chest without popping out the ribs for 3, 2, 1. Coming into that half bind. Might be different on this side, or this round for 3, 2, 1. Lengthen through the front leg. Press down through your heels, both heels for 3, 2, 1. Warrior 2, press down through both feet. Find your power on the path. Interlace the fingers, lift the collarbones, broaden through the chest for 3, 2, 1. Half bind, no bind, full bind. Middle of the left seat down and under for 3, 2, 1. You can keep the bind or release it into triangle pose for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Warrior 2. Float the hands down, downward facing dog. You do a high to low push-up in between if you like, whatever you need. And then downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, right foot forward, spin the back foot flat. Right forearm to right thigh, left hand to left hip. Begin to walk your left foot forward. I'm going to switch directions. Make your way into a half moon. Okay? So as soon as the left leg lifts, activate the left leg and the left foot. Fingertips could be to a block or to the ground. And you can stay here, left arm up, or bend the left knee in towards your chest. Hold on to the left foot. Press the left foot up and back. And like we did in that 3-legged down dog variation, turn the right side of your pelvis to the left. Press the left foot up and back into your hand. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Slowly releasing. Back to landing. Warrior 2. And then float your hands down to the ground. Inhale, left leg lifts. Or left foot steps forward, spin the back foot flat. Left forearm to left thigh, right hand to right hip. Walk the right foot forward. Shift the weight into your left foot, left hand down. Coming into your half moon. Stay here, right knee in towards your chest, grab onto the foot, and reach back. Breathe in here for another 3, and 2, and 1. Try not to slingshot, reach back for the landing. Boom. Warrior two. Float the hands down. Downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend your knees, step your right foot outside your right foot, back knee down. Turn the right toes out, right foot could be pretty wide. Best you can, keep the right shin perpendicular, up and down. Look over your right shoulder, bend the left knee. You may need to bring the hips back, that's good. Strap or hand to foot, and then lower the hips. Bend the right elbow slightly, roll the collarbones open, and then from there, spin your ribs towards the ceiling. And then you can begin to press the back foot into the right hand. For another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Downward facing dog. And now left foot forward. Outside of left hand, back knee down. You can bring the left foot pretty wide, but left shin straight up and down. Look over your left shoulder, bend the knee, grab onto the foot, root down, rise up, bend the left elbow slightly so you're lifting the left armpit up. Spin the ribs towards the ceiling for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Downward facing dog, hips up and back, then lower your knees down. Cross at your ankles. Just do a couple of flowing bridges. So on your back, placing your feet about pelvis width apart, or sitting bones width. Arms at your sides, palms facing down. Lift the hips up, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, lower down. 3 more times, rhythm of your own breath. I like to do these also in the beginning of practice, like the rhythm of the breath and the movement to help me center. It's also nice when we start to bring it down. Stay here. Your choice of a back bend, so that could be a bridge, or if you want to go right on into it for a wheel. Short but sweet, your own count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Let the knees rest in towards each other. One hand to the heart, one to the belly. Let your breath settle. Nice gesture of self-acknowledgement for having the strength and enthusiasm to show up on your mat today. Release the arms to the side. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. And let the knees fall to the left, pausing here. Couple cycles of breath. Bring the knees to the center, let them fall to the right. Bring it to center. Bring the feet together, hug your knees in towards your chest. If you have time, you can stay here, make your way into resting pose or seated meditation. If not, give yourself a big hug of gratitude in this, what is often a radical act of self-care. And slowly roll on over to one side. Make your way out up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes could be closed as you overlap your hands on top of your heart, or you can have a soft gaze. Think of one thing in your life that you're grateful for, no matter how big or small. And we'll end together one cleansing breath. First, empty out all the air from your lungs. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Exhale, and as always, gratitude for practicing together today. May it all be a benefit to us and everybody else around us. Namaste.